Why, hasn't your son said a single word since he sat down? Judge Judy asks, before either party has stated their case. In the front row, a teenage boy in a school hoodie stares at his shoes. Nobody answers her yet, and she doesn't push. She just lets the question sit while she opens the file. The plaintiff is Renee Cho, a contractor who says a family down the street, the Pharaohs, refused to pay the final $1,800 on a backyard fence job she completed in June. Renee is organized and fast-talking, laying out photos of the finished fence, a signed estimate, a text thread where Doug Pharaoh, the father, agreed to the price. The work's done, it's up to code, and they're refusing final payment over something that has nothing to do with my fence. She says Doug Pharaoh, come behind the defendant's table, doesn't dispute the fence itself. He says the work was fine. What he disputes is that Renee's crew left a gate unlatched on 3 separate occasions during the job. And on the 3rd occasion, their dog got out into the street. He says he's owed the $1,800 as an offset against a vet bill from the incident, which he places at exactly that amount. Almost suspiciously close to Renee's invoice. That's a convenient number, Judge Judy says. Doug allows a small, controlled smile. He slides over a vet invoice, an emergency visit, minor lacerations, $1,800 and for dollars. For dollars over what Renee is owed, which he says he's willing to eat. Judge Judy turns the invoice over once, checking the back, then sets it down and asks Renee directly whether her crew was ever informed the gate needed to stay latched. Renee says of course, it's standard on every job with pets. It's in her intake form, and she has the signed form to prove it. She produces it. A checkbox next to pets on property, gate protocol required, initialed by Doug himself. Judge Judy holds the form up next to the vet invoice for a moment, comparing something only she seems to be looking for, then sets both down without comment. She looks back toward the gallery, toward the boy who still hasn't said anything. That's your son, Mr. Pharaoh? Yes, Kevin. He's not part of this. He was home the day the dog got out, though, wasn't he? Doug hesitates, just slightly. He was, yes, but he didn't see anything useful. He was inside. Judge Judy's eyes drift once more to the initial gate protocol form, still sitting untouched on the bench since Renee produced it. We'll come back to this, she says, setting it aside. First, the vet bill. She goes quiet for a long moment, reading. When she looks up, she doesn't address Doug or Renee at all. Kevin, she says, can you come up here for a second? Before Kevin Pharaoh says a single word, hit subscribe, because this case is about to stop being about offense entirely. Kevin walks up slowly, hands in his hoodie pocket, and stands where Judge Judy points. She asks him gently whether he remembers the day the dog got loose. He nods, barely. Was the gate left open by the fence crew? She asks, but Kevin doesn't answer right away. He glances at his father, then back at the floor. No, he finally says, quiet but clear. I let Biscuit out myself. I was supposed to be watching him, and I was on my phone. The crew wasn't even here that day. They'd finished 2 days before. The room goes still. Doug starts to say something. Kevin, that's not. But Judge Judy raises a hand. Just slightly, and he stops. There's a second thing. Kevin says, steadier now, like admitting the first part made the rest easier. The vet bill wasn't from that day. Biscuit got hurt jumping a different fence at my grandma's place, like 3 weeks before. Dad said we should just use that bill instead, since the amounts were close enough, and Renee's crew had been in and out anyway. He said nobody would check. Doug's composure finally breaks. Not loud, just flat and cornered. I wasn't trying to steal from her. The vet bill was real. The dog really was hurt. I figured it evened out against a bill I already thought was overpriced. He stops himself. Hearing it, it's not evening out, Judge Judy says. It's inventing a claim and hoping your own son wouldn't correct you in a courtroom. She lets that sit for a moment, then reaches for the form she set aside earlier. Now, back to the gate. Judge Judy picks the gate protocol form back up. You initialed this the day the job started, she says to Doug, confirming you understood the gate needed to stay latched at all times, crew or no crew. If the dog got out, on any day, for any reason, that's not Renee's liability under this form. That's yours, as the pet owner. It never mattered whose fault it actually was. Doug doesn't have anything left to say to that. Judge Judy's ruling is short. Judgment for Renee Cho. The full $1,800 owed on the fence. No offset. The vet bill claim is dismissed as unsupported, and she notes for the record that submitting a mismatched invoice as evidence came close to sanctionable conduct. You didn't get caught by the woman you sued, she says. Closing the file, you got caught by the one witness in this room who didn't know he was supposed to lie for you. Outside the courthouse. Renee says she'll finish out the year without taking another job on that street. Doug tries to catch up to Kevin in the parking lot. But Kevin doesn't wait by the car. He walks home ahead of him. Hood up, a block and a half in front the whole way. And doesn't look back once. Did Doug Farrow deserve credit for staying calm under pressure? Or did his calm only make the lie easier to tell? You decide. Subscribe for next week's case. A landlord swears the dog was never approved until the tenant produces the landlord's own signed approval email sent from an account he claims he never used.